Good afternoon, everyone. A weather impact alert update. I'm CBS19 Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony, along with Jimmy Hazard here in the CBS19 Weather Center. If you've been following along on the app all day long, you've noticed that we've had several thunderstorms. We've even had a tornado watch issued, but so far, so good. We just have a flash flood warning in effect until 6:30 for Camp County. No tornado warnings in East Texas, and as we go every 15 minutes by 15 minutes, the feeling of not seeing a tornado warning here gets better and better because the situation is improving for us not to have a tornado in East Texas, and I'll talk about why in just a second. Flash flooding is taking over as the biggest risk tonight, and again, we'll look at why here in just a minute. But there is a tornado watch in effect until 7 p.m. It does include Anderson County, Houston County, and Trinity County, and then you go eastward through Cherokee, Angelina, Nacogdoches. We've got Rusk County, Panola, Shelby, San Augustine, and Sabine County in the tornado watch until 7 p.m. But let's take a look outside. Look at the temperatures. This is a key here to the way the day has played out. The air temperature is 58. The dew point's not going to be any greater than 58 degrees. The juicy air, the air needed for the warm, moist air to continue to rise, to cool, condense, and possibly turn into something rotating, that is over deep East Texas. It's near Crockett. It's closer to Lufkin. Even Nacogdoches right now at 63 would be marginal to see anything really strong or tornadic. 55 in center, simply too cool. The warm front is way down here to the south, and because of that, we have stayed rainy and cool throughout the day. Jefferson at 57, just drove through Gilmer about an hour ago, raining, hardly any wind at all. But the rain coming down from Upshur County through Smith County, it's very heavy, and it is causing some ponding on roadways. There are flood advisories out for Smith County and a large portion just to the west of East Texas. Longview at 57 degrees, Jacksonville right now at 58, Palestine currently at 65. Still worth watching, but I got to tell you, even when you look at the radar trends here, there is just not that great of a threat. What we would be looking for would be individual cells out here by themselves. And there are a couple, but notice how weak they are. What has ended up happening is that the showers and thunderstorms have turned pretty much into a large cluster of showers and thunderstorms. So what is that doing? Well, all of these showers and thunderstorms have to share whatever energy is out here. That has to share whatever humidity is out here. It can't be by itself growing into a larger storm. So I throw this into motion, and you'll see here from Athens to Palestine, what we're going to end up seeing is just a flash flood threat. There was a tornado warning down towards Spring, Texas earlier. That was well to the south earlier today, Harrison, Montgomery County. But here in East Texas, as I pan this up and we get rid of that red panel that comes on thanks to that tornado warning, you'll notice heavy rainfall tracking through Anderson County, up through Cherokee County, into Henderson, Smith County, and Longview. These are the areas where we were talking about the forecast giving us at least 3 or 4 inches of rainfall. Looks very much like we are going to see that. We talked about that rainfall amount in 2 rounds, the Thursday night round and then the Monday round. And so all that total looked like we're going to get to our forecasted rainfall amounts. Look at that cell there. It was coming across Angelina County, and it looked like, oh my, it was going to start rotating, right? But then it got into this, it got north of that warm front. It got into that cooler air, that less humid air, and it simply faded away. So as long as we can keep that moist air farther to the south, we are looking at clusters of showers and thunderstorms. Yeah, there's a lot of lightning here. I mean, there's a ton of lightning with these storms, and they do look at times pretty, not dangerous, but pretty feisty. If I can stop this, here we go. Play this out for us all the way to the end. All right, so let me look at Henderson, for instance, and I'll zoom in on Henderson. Down in Rusk County, back toward Jacksonville. Look at the lightning strikes that we're seeing there. So in the Henderson area, you're seeing quite a bit of lightning just northwest of Laneville. There could be a little bit of small hail in there. I'm not real concerned about big hail. That was one concern yesterday, but in here it looks more like it's probably a small hail threat if it's anything out of this storm system. So it's not a damaging hail threat situation. I think it's flash flooding that we are going to continue to see headed through the rest of the afternoon and into the evening. We'll wait and see if that tornado watch gets canceled early, but I got to tell you, if you're out there driving, it lowers the visibility down to about a less than a half mile or so, and so that becomes the bigger threat here. Up toward Henderson is that heaviest rain. We come all the way up toward Linden, another area of heavy rain, and there's your flash flood warning for Camp County until 6:30. That is right in the middle part of Camp County. From Gilmer going north on 271, you'll run into a lot of water up in that area. Back to the west here just a little bit, we've all seen quite a bit of heavy rainfall toward parts of western Wood County and into Van Zant, and even into Henderson County in the city of Athens, and still pouring buckets of rain just east of Athens. There's Lake Athens back here to the west. You've also got Cedar Creek Lake. You come over toward Lake Fork up here to the north, and it's raining pretty good at a pretty good clip there. Probably not getting back on the water anytime, at least with the daylight hours today. You head east toward Henderson. You've got that heavy rainfall just kind of hugging right there on the Cherokee and Rusk County line. So Frankston, heavy rainfall. New Summerfield, Henderson, toward Jacksonville. Remember that tornado warning Thursday night was right in this area here to the northeast of Jacksonville. So that's raining in that same area. They're seeing some heavy rainfall. Natchez, heavy rainfall. I mean, we're talking about over toward Moore Station in Frankston. These are probably 1 to 2 inch an hour rainfall rates at this time. All right, let me fast forward the maps to the severe thunderstorms that we're talking about. So we're talking about these storms until midnight tonight. It'll take that long to get the thunderstorms out of the area. But let's worry more about flash flooding now as our biggest impact. And of course, our need here is to find shelter and have the CBS19 app ready to go just in case you're in a place where there is a severe thunderstorm warning. Right now, no warnings are being issued at this time. We take a look at future skycast by 5 p.m. We're still looking at clusters of showers and thunderstorms across the area. So I'll go back to radar here. Let me check our CBS19 Facebook page, see if we've got any questions from anyone about the storms tonight. I know during the day I was answering quite a few questions. Folks wanted to know locations of the storms and that much, but right now, as we look at here, we're looking at, I'll check out our Facebook page at KYTX and give you an idea of what we're seeing here in terms of this feed here. Also, thank you very much for watching us on our YouTube channel and on our CBS 19 Plus stream. Got a lot of folks watching here this afternoon, so we appreciate all of your time that you're taking out for us. Again, let me walk us through. There are no current warnings in place except for a flash flood warning up here in Camp County. But right now, no severe thunderstorm warnings, no tornado warnings, despite that tornado watch, excuse me, that's in effect until 7 o'clock. What we do have here is heavy rainfall from Tyler down toward Athens. Let me look inside this storm. We'll do a little investigation using what we call our wind tracker. And if we can possibly look on our wind tracker here, what we would end up finding, first let me look at hail. See if we've got any hail in some of those storms around the area, and I can zoom in on those real fast if we see any, but I'm not seeing anything right now. And then we'll check out the winds. Nothing is loading in terms of hail. There might be a little bit, let me zoom in here, might be a little bit northern Rusk County. Nope, that's not there at all. So it looks like it's just heavy rainfall with this storm right now. All right, let's take a look at our winds that we're seeing inside the storm. And when we see those winds, we'll get an idea of what we're essentially working with in terms of the threat of severe weather. All right, need to check something out here. Let me double check on that. Please bear with me for a second. We just have a little bit of a computer hiccup happening with this. And if we can get back to this, we'll check our palettes out and get us back to the wind tracker. So this should kick back up on our wind here in just a second, and then I'll be able to kind of walk us through this storm. We'll stay until 4 o'clock here and then get ready for CBS 19 news coming up at 5 o'clock, and of course streaming on CBS 19 Plus. All right, so we are looking at wind. Now this can also include the storm movement. So we may have to go back to something where we take out the movement of the storm. But right now, you'll see some gusty winds here and there. For instance, if I click on this area just to the north of east of Tyler, some 26-mile-an-hour winds may be possible, for instance, in that area. So there may be some wind gusts about down here toward Troop, again, about 26-mile-an-hour winds. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing too crazy. Let's come down here to Jacksonville, where I see a little brighter green area here toward Rusk. And let's check out that area for winds. So there might be a 50-mile-an-hour wind gust in that area. So that would certainly give us an idea for a wind gust. Maybe a little tree could be knocked down, some limbs knocked down in the Rusk area. So just keep that. If you live in the Rusk area, you may be getting some gusty winds. If you can correlate that with us, let us know. Tell us that you are also seeing some gusty winds in that thunderstorm. That will help us out quite a bit. And we will look up here toward Kilgore and Longview. Again, the green is going to be the wind that is going toward Shreveport. The red will be the winds that are going away. There are a couple of places here where we see maybe some minor rotations, could be just some gusty winds within the thunderstorm. But the threat, if we were going to have that today, would be in that tornado watch area, which is farther to the south, down here where the air is just a little bit warmer. For instance, Lufkin right now sits at just a notch below 70, and Crockett was just also below 70. The forecast heading into today, a lot of the computer data was spitting out mid-70s for high temperatures. We never got anywhere close to that today. And so I think that's been a limiting factor on this, this severe weather day. And with that tornado watch still in effect, it does not include Smith County, nor Gregg County, or even Henderson County, and does not include Harrison County, or Marion County, or Upshur, or Wood County, or back toward Rains. It does, however, include still Panola and Rusk County, Cherokee County, and Anderson County. And they are really on the northern edge of this whole thing, just because you can see the temperature at Henderson's at 60 degrees. So I would think that's just too cool. Back when during I was taking classes, the meteorology classes, our professors always, one of my professors said that he liked a dew point of 62. Well, those are air temperatures. And so if the dew point and the air temperature were the same, most likely you'd have 100% relative humidity. Well, if the air temperature is 58, it's pretty tough to get a dew point higher than that. So because of that, I really think that's a limiting factor in terms of severe weather at Tyler and in Jacksonville. But let me walk us through one more time here before we get off the air and get back to at least regular stream and back to the Facebook channel, our Facebook page, and let us get about our day. But right now, there's no worries for a tornado in Henderson or Rusk County, or in Cherokee County, or even back here into Henderson and parts of Van Zandt and Anderson County. What I would be more concerned about would be flash flooding. We do have that flash flood warning in Camp County until 6:30. We do have flood advisories in effect in Smith County and back to the west toward Athens, where the rainfall rates here have been pretty tremendous. Let me see if I can just kind of find one of our estimated rainfalls so far for the day. And this will take a minute to load in here. But as it does, it's probably going to pick up in that 1.5. There we go. So just take a look at the amount of rainfall. And this is why I think the flash flood threat is really going to be our biggest threat headed into the evening. In these areas in blue, this correlates with 1.5 to 2.5 inches of rainfall. It's pouring rain again right now in Tyler. That little area in red, some of this can be what we call hail contaminated. So if there's any little bit of hail, the radar thinks that that's a heavier amount of rainfall because it's picking up more reflectivity. And so this little area here in southeastern Gregg County and northeastern Rusk County may be a little hail influenced, but still, if not, it would be closer to 3 inches of rainfall. I could see that. We've had showers and thunderstorms this morning, especially up here toward Marshall. There have been several heavy rainfall or heavy rain showers and thunderstorms that have moved through that area. And if you notice, the lightning appears to be elevated. A lot of these thunderstorms are not rooted at the surface. They're what we call elevated. So there's a little inversion, and so they're above that little inversion where those thunderstorms are mainly forming. And that's why sometimes you can have hail, because you'll have a big change in temperature from that inversion higher up into the atmosphere. So that might be one of those reasons. Here's another area west of Gilmer with some heavy rainfall that could be in the order of about 2 to 2.5 inches of rain. And then down here in deep East Texas, so far it's been lighter rain. It's just been harder to get anything going. It's still a little cool down there. The tornado watch may be extended down here just until the front clears. So we may see the tornado watch extended maybe up until about 10 o'clock for Angelina, San Augustine, and Sabine County. Otherwise, just heavy rainfall here along Interstate 20 in the area. Cloudy skies right now, 57 degrees in Gilmer, 56 at Mineola. One more look at the radar. Flash flood warning till 6:30. Otherwise, I'll throw this back into motion. And you can see, as we're clearing out here to the west, you're done. So you're going to be done. You're done in Athens. You're done in Canton for the day for rainfall. You still have a ways to go through Crockett, Lufkin, Nacogdoches Center, Henderson, Longview, Jefferson, and Shreveport. Still several hours of at least rain with that tornado watch in effect until 7 p.m. tonight. All right, thanks for watching our stream here on our YouTube channel. If you want to like or subscribe to the YouTube channel, please do that. We come on YouTube quite often with updates for the weather. Also on the Facebook page, we can answer any questions that you might have, and of course on our CBS19 stream and our CBS19 app. Jimmy Hazard's getting the forecast ready for you. She'll have that coming up at 5 o'clock. Meantime, just if any questions on Facebook or you want to share any kind of rainfall totals with us, please do that, weather at cbs19.tv. If we don't talk again, have a happy Thanksgiving and a safe Monday night.